Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, on the farm economy, while the last 3 years have been exceptionally strong for net farm income, USDA expects that in 2024, the farm economy's performance will somewhat normalize to what we've seen over the last 20 years due to falling commodity prices and rising input costs. However, in 2022, when net cash farm income reached a record high at over $200 billion, 13% of commercial farms, 50% of intermediate farms, and 63% of residence farms had negative farm income. In your remarks that I read, you mentioned several programs that help grow markets for American farmers and that receive mandatory funding. How can we on the Appropriations Committee support and grow the farm economy on the discretionary side of the budget?
Continued support for local and regional food systems. The reason being that when farmers are operating under the normal food system, they get roughly anywhere from 15 to 20 cents of the food dollar. When they sell locally directly to their consumer, they get anywhere from 50 to 75 cents of the food dollar. So to the degree to which you can continue to support local and regional food systems and the programs that are already in USDA, supporting our processing initiative, for example, continuing to support renewable energy production. Why? Because it's an opportunity for a new commodity, a new stream of income for producers. RECs are going to be transitioning to more renewable sources. Farmers have the ability to provide excess energy and therefore additional income. And finally, making sure that we continue to support the conversion of agricultural waste into a wide variety of bio-based products, everything from sustainable aviation fuel to bioplastics and everything in between.
You mentioned in a hearing recently that the number of persistent poverty counties is down, and you reiterated that today. ER says it's down by 10% when comparing 2021 to 2011. And of course, that's great news, but I'm pleased to note that many of the counties that are no longer considered to have persistent poverty are in the Southeast, including 5 in my district. Can you talk about why you think these improvements happened? And you noted that there's been an increase in the number of people living in rural areas. ERS says that between 2020 and 2022 that the rural population increased by 0.25%. Which is not a lot to celebrate, but it's a change in what the trends have been over the years. So can you share your thoughts on how that came about?
Obviously, the degree to which we are investing resources in rural America has increased through the American Rescue Plan, the Infrastructure Law, the Inflation Reduction Act. Farm income improving obviously was a component of this. Investments in the Rural Partnership Network, I think, are also critically important. By focusing on the persistently poor areas as we are with RPN, we're essentially allowing and providing intensive care for those areas, investing in critical infrastructure, critical economic development opportunities in those areas, resulting in more jobs, more income, and I think a sense of hope. I think to the extent that we are expanding climate-smart agriculture, to the extent that we are seeing more new and beginning and young farmers, which is the one positive from the farm survey that came out recently. We've seen an increase in beginning farmers. We've seen an increase in young farmers. We've seen an increase in veteran farmers, continuing to invest in those opportunities. So it's a combination of many, many, many things.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let me get a little more provincial. In meetings at home and in D.C., I'm hearing from a lot of my peanut and cotton growers from the Southeast, as well as agribusiness owners and bankers, that farmers are struggling financially. Much of this is due to the dramatic increase in farm input costs, high interest rates, weak exports. And as you know, the financial situation on the farm impacts many aspects of the rural community. With the Farm Bill not yet in place for the 2024 crop year, would you support a one-time payment to peanut and cotton producers to help them until we can get the Farm Bill in place for the 25 crop year?
Congressman, I'd be happy to work with your staff to see what might be possible. I would say that we are continuing to get resources out under the Emergency Relief Program There are also additional programs, additional opportunities for additional assistance for your producers in addition to or in lieu of a single payment.
This was done previously for rice producers, I think, for the 2022 crop through an appropriations bill.
It was, but we had to give up something in order to be able to finance the $250 million that went to rice producers. I'm not sure what you're willing to give up or what members of this committee are willing to give up or what I'm willing to give up.
Thank you. My time has expired.
Thank you very much.